Hello everyone and welcome to the gold medal match here at the Langley Event Center. We apologize if you can't quite hear us. The atmosphere in here is electric. The host, Trinity Western University Spartans, the number 4 seed in the tournament. 2 5-setters to get here. They beat the Alberta Golden Bears, then the Calgary Dinos, and their opponent, the Brandon Bobcats, who got here, beating the McMaster Marauders in 4, then the Laval Rouge Aor in 3. My name is Zach Rogers. I am pleased to be joined tonight by Stephen Marshall, and the home court advantage in full effect for the host Spartans.
Yeah, it's insane right now. I can barely hear myself think. It's going to be a loud night, and it's going to be really fun to see this team go at it.
And for the Brandon Bobcats, they have to find a way to get the crowd out of it early. We've seen their middles be very effective to start, and that opens up the outside hitters. What do you expect to see from the Bobcats to start this match?
I think we're going to see them start with their big guns, Sanderson and Miller, and then they're going to need their middles to play a huge role tonight. If they're not firing at a high level, then it's going to make it really tough on the outside hitters.
The graduating seniors for the Spartans, Josh Dornable and Micaiah Schalk, played pivotal roles for the Spartans to get here. How key has it been for them, especially with their leadership and their fifth-year experience in this national tournament?
It's been really huge. They've really shown their leadership out there this weekend. We saw last night they both played really huge roles, with Dornable making key kills at the end of the match, and Micaiah Schalk with some of the hardest serves I've seen in volleyball. And they've been really good this weekend. They'll need it again from them tonight.
For the Brandon Bobcats, this is just their second appearance at the national championship. They got bronze on their first appearance. What would it mean for the Bobcats to get gold here tonight?
It would be extremely huge for their program, but at the same time, it's also huge for Trinity's program. They've been here 6 times and also medaled 6 times. So opening up the new gym, it's only the second year here, so if they can win home court advantage, it'll be huge. This place is going to explode at every point.
You mentioned that it's going to explode every point. The Spartans looking to be the first team to win gold at home. Alberta has done it twice since 1989. No other team has won at the host site. The Spartans to get this crowd going early, how important is that? And do you think that might take Brandon off their game?
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to need a start like they had last night against Calgary, where they came out and really took it to Calgary really early. And they're going to want to come out and do that again tonight and get the crowd going right away.
Now, we mentioned the Spartans playing 2 5-setters to get here. The Bobcats have only played 7 total sets this tournament. Do you think fatigue might be an issue for the Spartans?
I don't think so. It's they're running on adrenaline right now at this point. So, I mean, a fatigue, they don't really feel it right now. They're just really pumped up and ready to get going for this game.
Paul Sanderson and Kevin Miller kind of alternating their big nights. What do you expect to see from them?
It's going to be the same thing. Lots of volume from both those guys tonight. They're going to have to step up really big and play really good games for their Bobcats tonight.
Well, we'll just let the crowd take it from here. Jared Hansen, the PA announcer, will have the national anthem and the starting lineups here in about 30 seconds. And we just hope we can collect our thoughts, as this building is electric right now. Thank you for joining us here for the gold medal match. The host, Trinity Western University Spartans, the number 4 seed, against the number 3 seed, the Brandon Bobcats. An all Canada West gold medal affair. The Calgary Dinos got the bronze medal, so it will be Canada West sweeping the podium yet again. We'll turn it over to Jared Hansen, the national anthem and the starting lineups. Thank you for joining us here on SSN Canada.
University of Brandon Bobcats as they take on the host team, the Trinity Western University Spartans. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and remove your hats for the national anthem? This afternoon, the anthem will be sung by Phil Van Veen. To ask this team's starting lineups to please make their way onto the court at this time. Starting for the Brandon Bobcats, 6'4" setter, number 4, Kyle Delazay. 6'5" left side, number 5, Paul Sanderson. 6'2" left side, number 6, Justin Pikel. 6'3" left side, number 8, Kevin Miller. 6'7" middle, number 9, Dan Boutwell. 6'1" left side, libero, number 13, Scott Neufeld. And in the middle, 6'8", number 16, Brendan White. The Brandon Bobcats are coached by head coach Russ Paddock, assistant coaches Grant Wilson and Mark Geeky. Ladies and gentlemen, and now for the host team, Trinity Western University Spartans. Starting for the Spartans on the left side, 6'4", number 1, Jared Offerens. 6'7" left side, number 3, Mark Howitson. 6'7" middle, number 5, Joshua Dornenball. 6'8" middle, number 6, Daniel Jensen Van Dorn. 6'5" middle, number 11, Rudy Verhoof. 6'9" middle, number 12, Lucas Van Berkel. 6'4" setter, number 14, Ben Ball.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Langley Event Center for the gold medal final between the Brandon Bobcats and the host Trinity Western University Spartans. And to say that it's not, I don't even know, just a ruckus in here would be an understatement.
Yeah, it's a packed house and everyone is really electric right now. The student section's all on their feet.
Anything that makes noise on campus, the students have brought with them here to the event center. Anything that they can bang together seems to be out there. body paint, interesting homemade hats, some vuvuzelas from the World Cup, pots and pans, buckets, sticks, anything they could find. And a Brandon Bobcat fan base here too, but might be a little tough to hear them. I'd say probably only 40 Bobcat fans here in attendance. The rest most likely cheering for the Trinity Western University Spartans. And the gold medal match, it will all come down to this: the Spartans versus the Bobcats. The Bobcats in their second appearance here, their only other time at the National Championship Tournament. They did get third, so a lot of positives going for the Bobcats as Mark Howitson will have the serve.
And these teams did split in the regular season, so it's kind of a grudge match for these two teams.
And his serving error starts the match.
Saw the same start from Mark Howitson last night. He started off the match against the Dinos with a missed serve as well.
Dan Boutwell back to serve for Brandon. Offerings to Ben Ball. Rudy Verhoof on the outside. An outstanding dig from Peichel. Now Sanderson on the outside. Swings deep and a great dig from Offerings. And Verhoof will tip it, and it's blocked by the Bobcats. The Spartans scramble, and they'll send it deep. Delzay on the outside to Sanderson into the net. And a 1-1 game here to start.
It's a good rally, the first real rally we've had, and Justin Peichel with an amazing dig. In the first playoff matchup he had 30 digs in their final game, and he started off with one already and 2 points.
Lucas Van Berkel back to serve for the Spartans. A very flat float serve sometimes can give the passers trouble, but the Bobcats do well. Now Rudy Verhoof will swing off the block. Bobcats recover, they try a dump, and Rudy Verhoof there for the Spartans.
Rudy Verhoof really heads up play, getting up on that dump from Delzay.
2-1 lead for Trinity Western. It seems like every point here is match point with the reaction from the fan base. Lucas Van Berkel will serve. Peichel not clean. Delzay hustles over. Now Sanderson from the outside, just long from Paul Sanderson. 2 errors on the last 2 swings from Paul Sanderson.
Yeah, it's not something you see very often from Sanderson. 2 swings, 2 errors so far. He's going to have to be a big component for them tonight if they want to be successful.
Lucas Van Berkel back to serve for the Spartans. Delzay on the outside, and a little miscommunication with Sanderson. The Bobcats will play some defense. Dornaball out of the back, a great dig by Neufeld. Now Delzay sets Miller, and out of the back row, Miller goes down the line.
Good job by Scott Neufeld, libero for Brandon Bobcats, picking up Josh Dornball down the line. Good transition play, Miller out of the back row on that D-ball.
Kyle Delzay back to serve for Brandon. Mark Howitson to Ben Ball. Dan Jansen Van Doren just tips it. The Bobcats struggle and will send a free ball out of bounds. A mental lapse there for the Bobcats. Brandon White.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one. That's just a terrible free ball set.
He's only in his first year. 3 Aussies on the team. Brendan White, one of them. Delzay goes right to Brendan White. And the Spartans kick it and save it and can't quite direct it in. So Brendan White makes up for the error, getting the kill on that last point for the Bobcats.
It's a good defensive pickup. Just a little bit of miscommunication between Dan and Rudy there, who was putting that ball over.
4-1, the Spartans lead, and a serving error from Paul Sanderson. A tough start for the Aussie out of Melbourne.
Yeah, hitting -500 right now, and then one service error.
Rudy Verhoof back to serve for Trinity Western. Sanderson to Delzay, cross court to Miller, and a great swing on the outside for Kevin Miller.
It's a really fast-paced set out to Miller on the outside. It's one of the things they've been successful with all year is running that fast left side ball. It caused a lot of problems for their opponents on blocking.
Earlier in the tournament, McMaster coaching staff acknowledging the speed that the Bobcats had. McMaster hadn't seen speed like that all season long. Ben Ball goes to Mark Howitson, and he gets it off the block, cross court. 6-4, the Spartans lead.
Really good discipline shot from Mark Houghton off the top of the block out the sideline.
Dan Jansen Van Doren back to serve for Trinity Western. And a spin serve, Neufeld to Delze. He hustles over, and Pica will just roll it in. Ben Ball, Verhoof out of the back, and a kill for the Spartans. 7-4 the score.
Good job from Ben Ball bringing Rudy in on that A-ball. Good cross-court shot underneath the block.
A great start for the Spartans, getting the crowd involved early. 7-4 the hosts lead. Delze in the middle to Boutwell, and a big block for the Spartans. 8-4 they lead heading into the first technical timeout. A picture-perfect start for the Spartans heading into the first timeout.
Yeah, they're looking really good right now. It's a really good block by Josh Dornball and Lucas Van Berkel closing that seam on the middle. The middles for Brandon are struggling right now, and that was a lot of their success this weekend has come from out of the middle. They've really opened up the wings.
One of the things we talked about in the pregame, both the outside, Sanderson and Miller, and with the middles, they definitely feed off each other. Sanderson struggling early. Miller has got a few kills for the Bobcats, but that's only one weapon on the outside, and if Sanderson and the middles aren't firing for the Bobcats, it could be a long night for Brandon fans.
Yeah, the Bobcats need to get their middles going. If they're not scoring, then it frees up the middles from Trinity Western to release on their block out to the outsides and key on the big guys like Miller and Sanderson.
An 8-4 lead for the Spartans as the teams retake the floor, and you can see some of the Spartan faithful on your screen at home. Face paint, body paint.
A few of the soccer team guys in dresses and body paint. It's a good look.
The wigs, the sunglasses. You'd think it was Halloween here. A serve goes long from the Spartans.
Coach Ben Joseph telling Dan JVD as he comes off, that's a good miss out the baseline. He likes to see those rather than balls hit into the net, making the passers decide whether to play or not still.
Kevin Miller serving for the Bobcats. Quickly, Lucas Van Berkel tries for the Spartans, and a good dig from the Bobcats. Van Berkel with the block. And the ball squirts wide off the Bobcats. 9-5, Spartans lead.
Lucas Van Berkel, Canada West block record this year, and he's got 2 so far in this set. They're going to need a lot more of those tonight out of him.
Josh Dornball, a fifth-year player on the Spartans, back to serve. Neufeld to Delze. Now on the outside, Miller. The block there for Van Berkel, but unfortunately can't direct it in. He tried to sell no touch, but a clear block for Lucas Van Berkel.
Yeah, he was a little late closing that seam, and his penetration was a little late. That gave up his elbow and skipped off the net out of bounds.
9-6 the score in favor of the Spartans. And another serving error for the Bobcats this time. Justin Peichel, the guilty party.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of nerves is the problem for the Bobcats right now. They already have 6 errors in the set, and that doesn't count service errors as well. They have a few of those.
Mark Howitson back to serve for Trinity Western. And just missing long. Mark Howitson, 10-7 the Spartans lead. Dan Boutwell back to serve for the Brandon Bobcats. Offerings to Ball, now Dornball out of the back. And just in front of Peichel, and it looks like it handcuffed him his initial step to the side, and it falls in front of him.
Yeah, it's a really good high shot from Josh Dornball. It was right over top of the blocker, so it's a spot where you don't really have a defender, and it landed right in front of Peichel.
Van Berkel to serve. Sanderson to Delze, out to Sanderson on the outside, off the hands. The Spartans slow it down. Ben Ball to Verhoof. He'll just tip it over the block, and a great touch from Rudy Verhoof.
That's a great dig by Lucas Van Berkel. Middle getting in on the action, and good transition set by Ben Ball. Smart shot by Rudy Verhoof.
Lucas Van Berkel back to serve for the Spartans. Peichel to Delze. Now Miller on the outside. He'll tip one. Ben Ball there for the Spartans. Burkle to Verhoof. He'll try cross court. Neufeld with the dig for the Bobcats. Now Sanderson on the outside. The Spartans get a touch and slow it down. Verhoof tips it. A diving play from Miller. Now Sanderson will go for the Bobcats. The Spartans reset. Bent ball to Dan Jansen Van Doren and a big solo block from Paul Sanderson.
Great job from Lucas Van Berkel getting 2 digs there on the service run. And a little bit of a tentative approach from Dan JVD. Didn't look like he was expecting that set, and he's always got to approach the ball like he's getting it to put it away.
Kyle Delzay serving for the Bobcats. Bent ball on the outside. Josh Dornan ball right down the line for the Spartans.
Really good swing from Josh.
The 5th-year player having an outstanding championship tournament.
He's been huge for him this weekend. He's made the plays when he's needed to.
And bent ball just missing long. Neufeld almost got tagged by it. Paul Sanderson to serve for the Bobcats, and his spin serve, one of the harder ones here at the tournament. Rudy Verhoof on the outside. The Bobcats slow it down. Delzay to Miller, and Dan Jansen Van Doren and Josh Dornenball there get the point for the Spartans.
Delzay leaving that ball really tight for Miller. He didn't really have anywhere to go with it, and end product is a block for Trinity Western.
Delzay and Howitson there on the net. Now on the outside, Sanderson off the block, and you know it's only a matter of time before Paul Sanderson gets a few kills going his way.
Yeah, Paul Sanderson is an outstanding player. We're not going to be able to stop him consistently tonight, and just have to take advantage of the times that they do.
One of the best power hitters in Canada West, Paul Sanderson.
Yeah, he was a first-team All-Stars here in Canada West and last year's MVP.
Bent ball on the outside. Josh Dornenball right down the line again, and that shot working for the Spartans.
Brandon defense is giving Josh a lot of line on his hits, and he's just got to keep taking advantage of that until they change it up. And he's usually a primarily cross-court hitter, and he's doing a really good job of taking advantage of that line.
15-10, the Spartans lead here in the first set. And Dornenball catches the tape. 15-11, Spartans lead. Kevin Miller serving for Brandon, and another serving error for the Bobcats. The Spartans have the 16-11 lead heading into the first technical timeout, and a great start if you're a Spartan faithful, and a little concern for the Brandon Bobcats. It is only the first set, but with this predominantly Spartan fan base here at the Langley Event Center, you have to think Brandon wants to quiet them as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough task, and it's going to take a lot of work to do it, but they just need to consistently make plays instead of giving free points to Trinity Western. They've made 10 errors so far in this set, so they're going to have to eliminate those if they want a chance.
The Spartans looking to be the second team to win as a host since 1989. The Alberta Golden Bears, the only team to do it since Calgary did it back in 87-88. Or my apologies, the 88-89 series was the last time. Josh Dornenball back to serve for the Spartans. 16-11, Trinity Western leads. Delzay on the outside to Miller, just missing the line, Kevin Miller.
Coach Ben Joseph for Trinity Western telling his defense that's a perfect job on Kevin Miller, giving him just a little bit of line and force him to try to hit it, and he hit that one out.
We'll see Jonathan Sloan come in for the Bobcats. Nursing an injury, you can see a heavy tape job on the left hand, limiting his minutes later on in the Canada West season. Delzay in the middle and out of the back. Sanderson with the kill. And they're going to call an attack line violation on Paul Sanderson.
That's really too bad. That's a good pattern by Delzay, bringing Sanderson on the A-ball over the 50 from Sloan.
And a timeout called by head coach Russ Paddock. A very calm, cool, and collected coach on the sideline. We finally saw some emotion out of him this tournament when Brandon was able to beat the Rouge A-Or from Laval and make it to the gold medal match. But you have to think your second appearance in 3 years, making it to the gold medal match, quite an accomplishment for the Bobcats.
It is. They've done a really good job over the past few years building this program and getting into a few national championships.
The kind of a battle of the smaller schools here in the gold medal. Josh Dornenball back to serve. And just catching the tape, Peichel struggles a little. Now look at Peichel on the outside, and the Bobcats get a second chance. Delzay in the middle to Sloan, just missing wide. Point for the Spartans.
It's a good aggressive swing from Sloan coming in off the bench. We can already see the impact he has. The first play, Trinity Western blockers fully committed with him. It's just a compliment to him how good he's been playing this season.
Josh Dornenball back to serve for Trinity Western. Delzay on the outside, Miller, and a big block from Van Berkel and Mark Howitson.
That's a good job by Mark Howitson, staying really solid on his block, not reaching into space, just taking away what he needs to, and that's a really good block.
We see a couple of substitutions for the Bobcats. Number 3, Garrett Popplestone, and number 11, Brendan Leons in for the Bobcats. A great serve from Dornenball, and some miscommunication on the Bobcat side as Jonathan Sloan and Paul Sanderson collide, but all started with the great serve from Dornenball.
Yeah, tough serve into a seam from Dornenball. Jonathan Sloan playing that second ball, kind of a scramble play. He just got it up in the air, wasn't sure quite where to go, and Sanderson ran into the back of him.
The second timeout called by Russ Paddock, and just having a little laugh with the players, perhaps telling them, brush it off. There's a lot of volleyball left to be played here in the gold medal match. If we go down, it's only one set. We can bounce back in the second, and it's anyone's game.
Yeah, a play like that kind of helps lighten the mood. I'm sure they weren't feeling too good being down 10 points. It's not an easy place to be in, but a play like that kind of lightens the mood, and hopefully the nerves can go away a bit for Brandon Bobcats and then get back into this game.
Some critics out there might say the Spartans had a tougher bracket to get to the gold medal, facing Alberta in the quarters and Calgary in the semifinal. The Bobcats face the McMaster Marauders in the quarters and the Laval Rouge A-Or in the semifinal. On the outside, a swing from Leons is blocked by the Spartans.
Again, same as we saw last night, the Spartan blocking is doing a really good job to start off this game. They have 6 blocks already in this set.
Craig Lowe will come in for Justin Peichel on the Bobcat side. Josh Dornenball back to serve. 22-11. The Spartans lead here in the first set, and Dornenball with the tape ace.
Yeah, bounce is going Trinity's way right now. The lucky tape ace from Dornenball. Passers for Brandon, though, on their heels.
And similar to what we've seen between the Spartans this weekend, it seems that they get the bounces when they're moving from left to right on the screen at home.
They do. They've had a really good time on that far side. And we see a lot of changes from the Bobcats coming in. They have a completely new lineup now.
Number 2, Brett Young, is now in for the Bobcats.
Coach Russ Paddock just trying to get his starters off and get their heads in the right space into the next set.
Dornenball with another good serve. Neufeld on the outside to Leons, and no touch. Set point for the Spartans, 24-11. Josh Dorenball to serve for Trinity Western. Through the middle, Jonathan Sloan able to get the kill for the Bobcats.
It's a good shot by Jonathan Sloan, noticing that Lucas Van Berkel was late, closing that seam and hit it high off his hands out the side.
Craig Lowe will now serve for Brandon. Howitson to ball to Van Berkel. The Bobcats slow it down. Now Sloan on the outside to Young. Brandon scrambles and keeps alive. Young again. Again Van Berkel there. And a battle at the net. It rolls on the tape and falls on the Bobcat side. Sloan to Young and cross court wide. The Spartans take the first set, 25-12.
That's an example of how good the Trinity Western blocking is. So many slowdowns in that rally, putting a lot of pressure on that Bobcats to get a point, and they couldn't do it.
And the Spartans playing 2 5-setters back to back. How important was this first set to get the crowd going and help their adrenaline? Just the crowd perhaps can carry them the rest of the way.
It was huge. They came out. It didn't look like they struggled with too many nerves. They were riding the energy of the crowd and got some lucky bounces and some good blocks, and they're playing really well to start off this game.
And for the Brandon Bobcats, obviously not the start they were looking for, but Russ Paddock and the Bobcats, what do they have to do to regroup and come out and have a strong showing here in the second set?
They just need a better collective effort from all their guys. Almost everyone is hitting negative for their guys. Their best hitter is hitting 0. That's Kevin Miller. He has 3 kills on 7 attempts with 3 errors. Everyone else is hitting negative, so they just need to keep the ball in play and make better shots, not get suckered into hitting low against a big Trinity Western block.
And for the Spartans to keep rolling, what do you think they need to do?
Same thing that they've been doing all year, has been playing good collectively as a whole team. When everyone's playing well, that's when they're at their best. They need a full contribution from all 6 guys on the court.
It is an all Canada West gold medal here. The Brandon Bobcats, the Trinity Western University Spartans, the Calgary Dinos collected the bronze medal in a exciting 5-set match with the Laval Rouge et Or. The Calgary Dinos did end up prevailing, and Canada West, again back-to-back years, will sweep the podium here at the CIS National Championship.
Yeah, Canada West has been really dominant the past few years, and the medals go to show how well the programs out here have built up their teams, and the players are doing really good and bringing home medals for their conference.
And we've seen Micaiah Schultz come in off the bench a number of times. We didn't see him in the first set. Do you think perhaps Ben Josephson waiting until there's a reason to put him in before he puts Micaiah Schultz on the floor? We saw Schultz with probably the best consecutive serves I've seen in my 3 years calling volleyball there at the end of the last match. You know he's a weapon on the back end. When do you think Josephson will let him see the floor?
Micaiah Schultz is one of those guys he brings in to serve at a pressure moment because he knows he can handle it. Like we saw last night, those were 3 of the hardest serves I've literally ever seen, and they all came consecutively. So I'm sure if there's a chance for him to use them tonight, that Micaiah's going to be in there ripping on serves again.
The Spartans took the first set in a convincing fashion, 25-12 over the Brandon Bobcats, but this break gives Brandon a chance to regroup and tie it up here in the second set.
Yeah, we see all the stars come back on the court for the Bobcats. They're going to really need to have to pick it up this set so that it doesn't get out of hand again like that first set did.
It will be Dan Boutwell to serve for Brandon. Offerings to ball now. Dornenball out of the back, cross court. Miller can't control the dig. 1-0 Spartans lead.
Good job by Josh, noticing that the Brandon blockers adjusted to him, hitting line all last set. And he cut that one inside the block, cross court. That was right in Miller's lap, and I'm sure he would have liked to have that dig. As this game wears on, he's going to have to make those.
Delzay to Miller out of the back, and Dan Jansen Van Doren has the ball squirt through his arms. 1-1 the score.
Kevin Miller is a really gifted jumper and gives him the ability to hit really high into the block, and he gets some good kills because he hits the parts of the block that are really unstable.
Bent ball on the outside, Rudy Verhoof, a great attempt by Neufeld. Unfortunately, Sanderson couldn't pick it up. 2-1 the Spartans lead.
Great positioning by Scott Neufeld on that ball. He just needs to get that one high in the middle of the court and let someone make a play on it.
Bent ball serving for the Spartans. Peichel to Delzay, now on the outside. Kevin Miller, and the block late getting over right off Dornenball's hands. A good swing for Kevin Miller.
It's a good pass by the Brandon Bobcats, and it caused a lot of problems with that speed to the outside. Maryland almost had no block, and Josh Dornball was really late chasing.
Offerings with a good pass to Ball. He goes on the outside. Verhoof, and a setting error from Ben Ball.
Something you don't see very often from Ben Ball.
Ben Ball having probably one of his best setting nights last night against the Dinos.
Yeah, he's been outstanding all year for them, and last night was just a testament to how good he's been playing.
Ben Ball on the outside. Dornenball high off the block. Neufeld with a great one-handed stab keeps it going, and Sanderson out of the back, blocked, falls in play, 3-3.
Good job from Trinity Western blockers, noticing that Sanderson was still taking a swing on that ball. They did a good job getting up, being stable.
Rudy Verhoof serving right to Sanderson. Delzay on the outside for Miller. Cross court, no touch. 4-3, the Spartans lead.
If the Trinity servers can keep the ball off the net on the passing from Brandon, they're going to have a lot of trouble all night. Happens to set two balls instead of running their fast-paced offense.
The Spartans go right back to Sanderson. Delzay on the outside. Miller high off the block, and it falls on the line. Unfortunate break there for the Bobcats. We mentioned this in the bronze medal match. Anything close, you almost want to play.
You don't want to leave anything to chance. Anything close, you're really going to want to take it. It's a really good block by Dan Jansen Van Doren, closing late steam.
Delzay on the outside. Miller cross court, no problem for Kevin Miller with a single block on the outside.
It's a good set by Delzay, run that fast set again to Miller, giving him one block. Looked like it might have gone through the hands of Dornenball there.
Brendan White back to serve for the Brandon Bobcats, and another serving error for Brandon. 6-4, the Spartans lead.
Really good lead by Rudy Verhoof. The ball looked like it might have dropped, and he decided right at the last second to leave, and it sailed out of bounds.
New foul to Delzay, out of the back Sanderson, and he misses long. An off night for Paul Sanderson, and a slow start and a rare one. This many errors from the Australian.
You don't see this very often from Sanderson. He has 4 errors on 10 attempts already. Usually it's 4 kills on 10 attempts.
Sanderson to Delzay in the middle. Boutwell battles at the net, and they will call the Spartans on the net point for the Bobcats. 7-5 the score in favor of Trinity Western.
Good job by Mark Houghton closing down the seam on the middle. Just a miscommunication error, 2 guys playing the ball, and that's really got on the tape.
Ben Ball to Van Berkelen, just past the diving Paul Sanderson. The Spartans lead 8-5 into the first technical timeout, and they battle back here in the second set to have the lead at the first technical timeout.
Yeah, they got a good 3-point run in the middle of that first little timeout. And it's a great set by Ben Ball. He likes that middle set when he has to go down on one knee.
The Spartans looking for their second CIS championship. The last championship came back in 2006. Last year they were the silver medalists, losing to another Canada West rival, the Calgary Dinos. The Spartans beat the Dinos in that rematch last night. And in Canada West play, these teams split the regular season, both teams winning one night. It's just a one or done tonight though. The winner here will claim CIS gold. Dornenball with the serve. Now Peichel, and he puts it into the net. A tough start for Brandon.
Again, the tough serving from the Spartans putting Brandon in a lot of trouble. These passes are really off the net, and it's not giving the hitters a lot to work with.
Josh Dornenball will serve again for Trinity Western. Peichel to Delzay on the outside. Kevin Miller just missing the line. A close swing from Miller.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a timeout here from Paddock.
And right on cue, a timeout from Russ Paddock.
Again, Brandon Bobcat offense is not looking as sharp as it has in the last couple weeks. They're making a lot of errors, and they're not missing by much, but they're going to have to keep the ball in play, or else Spartans are going to run away with this game.
Do you think Paddock might be saying, instead of trying to pick the corner, paint the line, just make the Spartans play it?
I think he's probably telling them to challenge the block, but do it smartly. They've gotten in trouble challenging the block low, and the blockers for the Spartans have been having a heyday so far. They just need to make good, disciplined, high shots to the deep part of the court, and they should be okay.
The Spartans, one of the bigger blocks in Canada. Technically, they have 4 middles on their roster. Josh Dornenball, a middle. Lucas Van Berkel, a middle. Rudy Verhoof, a middle. And Dan Jansen Van Doren, a middle. Dornenball and Verhoof playing outside hitters this year.
Yeah, they're a pretty big team. Their smallest guy is Ben Ball at 6'4".
On the outside, Kevin Miller just rolls at a diving play from Verhoof and an overpass, and Dan Boutwell connects for the Bobcats. A much-needed point out of the timeout for Brandon.
Yeah, it's a good response out of the timeout from Brandon.
Number 6, Justin Peichel back to serve. And another serving error for Brandon as Peichel looks to the rafters. Rudy Verhoof, or my apologies, Mark Howitson serving for the Spartans in the middle. A touch play from Boutwell is controlled by the Spartans. Now Verhoof on the outside, off the block. Howitson there in support. Ben Ball with a swing, it catches the tape. Bobcats set up. Sanderson off the block, a diving play from Offerins. And the Spartans can't control it. A good rally there, great effort from both sides.
Yeah, really good job. Good touch by Jared Offerins on that great swing by Sanderson. Like I said, what they need to do is attack the high part of the block, and that was a good example of what they need to do from Sanderson, skipping it out the back.
And perhaps a kill for Sanderson can get him going offensively. Ben Ball to Van Berkel, and a block from the Bobcats, and missing by no more than 2 inches on the outside.
It's a good athletic step by Ben Ball, elevating really high, making that 60 step to Lucas. He got a little bit lucky. Sanderson did a good job helping, and it ricocheted out of bounds.
Lucas Van Berkel serves for the Spartans. A battle at the net. Ben Ball to Van Berkel. Now Rudy Verhoof swings off the hands. Justin Peichel there for the Bobcats. Miller out of the back. Howitson to Ball. Dornenball, single blocker, cross court, and good for Josh Dornenball.
Extremely good patience from the Spartans. Nice rally, extending it, keeping the Bobcats in trouble in two-ball scenario. And they got their free ball back, and they took advantage of it.
The Langley Event Center exploding for every point for the Spartans. Paul Sanderson on the outside, 3 blockers there for the Spartans. Dornenball comes in but can't control it on the Spartan side. Now Sanderson, and a big solo block from Ben Ball.
Ben Ball with a huge block on Sanderson, reaching back into the cross court and taking it away.
And another timeout by Russ Paddock, and the Bobcats using both of their timeouts before the second technical timeout, and the Spartans just running on cruise control here in the second set. They really put some space between them after the first technical timeout, in a very steep hill to climb for Russ Paddock and the Bobcats.
Absolutely. The Spartan blockers are putting them in a lot of trouble. And that all starts with the tough serving they're putting in. they haven't really missed many, which is good to see, and they're getting a lot of balls that are in the middle of the court, and it's allowing their block to do some good things. They already have 9 blocks in this game.
The Bobcats yet to record a block, and a more contrasting statistic, the Bobcats hitting at negative 22%, while the Spartan offense firing at 31.
Yeah, a lot of that is because of the serving and the blocking from Trinity Western.
And Van Berkel with the serving error. 14-8, the Spartans lead. Kyle Delzay back to serve for Brandon. Howitson to ball. Verhoof on the outside, just tips it in. A great block from Brendan White of the Bobcats.
It's a really tentative shot by Rudy. It's not a very good aim. A roll shot, you usually want to put that to one and take the setter out, and that's just right into the middle's hands. Good job by him hanging and putting it back down.
Ben ball on the outside. Rudy Verhoof makes up for it on this one. Swings with all his might, tags the baseline. 15-9.
That's a really good swing into the seam. No defender there, right to the baseline. It's a perfect shot.
Ben ball back to serve for the Spartans. Dalzay all the way over to Miller. The Spartans slow it down. Now Ben ball to Dornaball. A block from the Bobcats and just catching the baseline. A big block from the Bobcats and perhaps a momentum builder.
Yeah, they're going to need a lot more of that to gain some momentum here. It's a good job by Brandon White closing that seam. A little bit greedy by Josh Dornball, thinking there's only one blocker, and great job by White to close it up.
Paul Sanderson has a lethal serve from the baseline. And a good job by Offerings to control. Dornball on the outside, just tips it. A diving play from Peichel. And now Miller will put it on the Spartan side. Offerings to Verhoof, and a tough set and a tough shot for Rudy Verhoof, and he puts it into the net. Point for the Bobcats.
Rudy Verhoof has gotten in trouble tonight when he's tried to do his cute roll shots. He just needs to keep staying aggressive. That's where he has his most success.
And another good serve from Sanderson, and Offerings up to the task, and an outstanding dig from the Bobcats. Peichel will roll it to the back. A diving play from Offerings. Ben ball to Dornball off the hands. Neufeld controls for Brandon. Now Kevin Miller with the swing, and he gets the point for the Bobcats.
Brandon's starting to play a lot better right now. They're getting some stops defensively and good transition play.
And just like that, the Bobcats climb back into this set. 15-12, the lead for the Spartans. Bobcats well within striking distance.
Yeah, they just need to keep picking up the Spartans on offense. They're making good digs right now, and they're transitioning that into kills on offense.
This match for first place in the tournament. The Tantramar Trophy on the line. The Spartans have their name on it already, and the Bobcats looking to put Brandon's name on it.
I would like to see Ben Ball utilize his middles a little bit more. So I would expect on a good pass he would run Dan here in the middle.
Ben Ball on the outside. Dornball, an outstanding dig from Neufeld. Now Sanderson out of the back, and the block gets it done for the Spartans.
Yeah, this is really unusual to see. Sanderson has 7 errors already. That's pretty unusual for him.
Paul Sanderson, one of the better outside hitters, arguably the best outside hitter in Canada West.
Yeah, he set the record this year for most kills in this Can West history.
And Russ Paddock, a very experienced coach, both as a coach and as a player. His 6th season with the Bobcats. I'm sure he has a positive message for Brandon to perhaps get them going out of this timeout.
Yeah, I'm sure he's just encouraging them. They've started to play a bit better here in the second set. They're playing really good defensively and serving a lot better.
They just need to get their big guys going like Sanderson and Miller. They're having a really tough night right now, and they really need those guys to step up.
You have to wonder how much home court advantage is playing a part here in the gold medal match. The Spartan faithful have been with the Spartans every night, really helping them dig deep in the 5th set, and now they're going full steam, and it's tough for Brandon to get them to quiet down.
Yeah, the Spartans are feeding off it really well right now, playing some really good volleyball.
Ben Ball on the outside, Josh Dornball, a big block for Kevin Miller and Brendan White.
Yeah, another good block by Brandon. Looks like that set from Ben Ball was a little bit too low for Josh Dornball. He's one of the players that touches really high on Trinity Western, and he was fighting that off a little bit with a low elbow.
Josh Dornball, a 6'7" middle out of Edmonton, Alberta. Brendan White serving for Brandon. And an overpass, and Justin Peichel puts it down for the Bobcats. The lead is to 16-14, Spartans lead.
Spartans are still in a good spot here with a 2-point spread. If they can then side this one up, they're up 3, and they just need to play side-out volleyball from here on out.
And Offerings and Howitson with a little bit of a communication lapse. 1-point ball game, 16-15 in set number 2.
White has done a really good job to get his team back in this. He's got a couple blocks from this set, and he just got 2 aces in a row.
And Offerings lets it go, and an ace for the Bobcats. They've tied it up here in the 2nd set, 16-16.
One of the telltale signs that the Spartans are struggling is when their passing falls apart, and they've seen 3 aces in a row.
Brendan White from Australia, the 6'9" left side. And Micaiah Schulk with a heavy swing, but the Bobcats block does the job, and they can't get it done when Josh Dornball swings on the 2nd attempt, 17-16.
It's a bit of an unusual lineup they had. They had Micaiah Schulk come in for Dan Jansen Van Dorn, so he's lined up his middle, but swinging on the right side ball, and Josh Dornball came in to play middle.
And now Micaiah Schulk will serve, and a heavy serve, and Sanderson with an outstanding job to control. And Peichel gets it through the block. It comes up. Sanderson will play. Delzay to Miller on the outside. The block there for the Spartans.
Great dig by Ben Ball. That ball ricocheted through Josh Dornball's hands. He thought he might have had that block, and a good reaction by Ben Ball. Good job putting the ball back over, and a good block by Mark Howitson.
And Micaiah Schulk with that heavy serve will get another crack at it. And just catching the tape. But Paul Sanderson on that first serve from Schulk, an excellent pass from the back row.
Yeah, when Micaiah Schulk is ripping on the serves, you have to play more like an offensive attack and try to dig the ball instead of passing it.
And Jared Offerings with the miscue. 18-18 the score here at the Langley Event Center.
Jared's struggling a little bit right now on serve receive. He just needs to calm down and make some good passes. He had an outstanding night the last 2 nights.
Kevin Miller back to serve for Brandon. Right back to Offerings. Ben Ball out of the back. Verhoef catches the tape and has it fall on the Bobcat side. 19-18, the Spartans lead.
It's an excellent pattern from Ben Ball, bringing Rudy on the A ball over the 50 from Lucas. Lucas is a really big guy, and it's hard to pick up as a defender with guys coming over top of him.
Josh Dornball back to serve for the Spartans. Peichel to Delzay in the middle. Boutwell gets it off the fingertips for the Bobcats.
It's a good skip out the baseline, and it looked like Jared Offens was a little bit too shallow on that play, and probably could have taken 1 or 2 more steps to get to that ball.
Justin Peichel back to serve for Brandon. Offerings to Ball. Dornapol out of the back, and a big block for Dan Boutwell, and the Bobcats have the lead, 20-19.
Looked a little bit congested on that run. Ben Ball setting the D-ball with the 60 on, and he was even pushed over to that side too. I would have liked to see him maybe set the A-ball to Rudy or push it all the way out to Mark.
And almost an ace for Peichel. Centimeters long on the serve. Mark Howitson back to serve for Trinity Western. A big serve, but the Bobcats control. Miller out of the back, down the line. Howitson gets a touch, but can't control. 21-20, the Bobcats lead.
It's a really tough serve by Howitson and an unbelievable pass by Sanderson. Looks like the defenders from the Spartans are creeping in a little bit, getting a little too anxious, and they just need to trust their systems and keep back on defense.
Dan Boutwell serves for the Bobcats. Bang ball, Rudy Verhoef. No one home for the Bobcats as Verhoef just tipped it over the block.
That's a beautiful shot by Rudy. Slowing down his arm so he didn't really give it away too early, and it paid off. It was a really nice shot.
You can see Peichel on his heels and just couldn't quite transfer the weight fast enough. Delzay on the outside. Miller off the block. The Spartans slow it down. Band ball to Rudy Verhoef. Down line. Miller controls. Now Sanderson and block from Dan Jansen Van Dorn. 22-21. The Spartans retake the lead.
Again, good volleyball from the Spartans, taking the advantage of their opportunities and not trying to do too much when there's nothing there.
Lucas Van Berkel to serve. And on the outside, Sanderson, a one-handed dig from Van Berkel. Now Verhoef swings and a big kill, turning defense into offense for the Spartans.
That's an incredible dig by Lucas, just throwing one hand on it and making a great paddle dig. And Rudy putting one away.
23-21, and we see Jonathan Sloan come back in for the Bobcats. It's tough to know how much that left hand can handle. And an overpass, the Spartans will set up. Band ball on the outside. Verhoef just missing down the line.
That's a tough play. Those are the ones where you really have to take advantage at the end of the set. Free ball coming over, and they couldn't take advantage of it.
Kyle Delzay to serve for the Bobcats. The Spartans lead by one, 23-22. Offerings to ball to Dan Jensen Van Doren, and a diving play from Peichel, just short. Set point for the Spartans, and the event center ready to explode.
It's a good high shot from Dan. He touches 11-9, and that ball was well above the antenna. He just tapped it over the to the blockers in front of the defenders.
Peichel to Delzay, and in the middle, Sloan, it catches the tape. It falls on the Bobcat side. Now Ben ball to Dornapol, hard off the block. Ball on the outside, Verhoef. Sanderson gets a touch and just out of bounds, or my apologies, that was Miller with the touch. And the Spartans take set number 2, 25-22. They have a commanding 2-0 lead. They took the first 25-12 and the second 25-22.
Yeah, it's a good shot by Rudy Verhoef. He stepped up great at the end of the set, showing why he was one of their go-to players.
And we just received a note up here in the broadcast booth. A shout out to the women's team watching in Quebec. Congratulations on your bronze medal in the national tournament. We wish you were here to join in. It's quite the atmosphere in the Langley Event Center. You can see the Spartan faithful going nuts on your screen at home, and a definite home court advantage for the Spartans, but Brandon perhaps building a lot of momentum out of that set, hanging with the Spartans, overtaking the lead, and then the Spartans just coming back at the end.
Yeah, Brandon responded really well from the first set, and then again, halfway through the second set, they're down 16-12, and they tied it up at 19, so they did a really good job of getting back in the set. and they gave Spartans a run for their money, but Spartans did a really good job of responding and evening out and weathering the storm and finishing off the set.
The Spartans looking to become only the second team since 1989 to win at home Alberta, the only team to do it as the host since Calgary did it in the 1988-89 season at Calgary. A tough task for any team, a lot of pressure on the players to perform on home court, and perhaps the Spartans taking that pressure energy, working off the crowd and just fueling it into adrenaline to get them through. They have to be exhausted. 2 5-set matches, first with the Alberta Golden Bears, who hadn't dropped 3 sets in a row in roughly 10 years according to our statistics. And then facing the Calgary Dinos, the team that beat him in the gold medal last year. And here they're in a battle with the Bobcats. The Bobcats showing they came to play, battling in the second set. The Spartans get the victory. What do you expect to see from Brandon in the third?
I would expect them to hopefully incorporate their middles a little bit more. They haven't really done it in the first 2 sets. And it's putting a lot of pressure on their outside hitters. Sanderson and Miller are having a really tough time right now, so their middles are going to have to step up and put some balls away when they get the opportunities.
And for the Spartans to keep momentum going, what do they have to do?
They just need to keep being patient on offense. They can't try to do too much when something isn't quite there. They just need to keep balls in play and try to better each opportunity and let their block do good things and hopefully outweight Brandon Bobcats and put away good transition balls.
Paul Sanderson kind of got off to a slow start. We finally see some middles for the Bobcats. Brendan White, Dan Boutwell getting some more touches and getting some kills. Do you think they might try Sanderson right off the bat in the third set?
Yeah, they need to get him going a little bit more. He's struggling big time right now. He has 2 kills, 8 errors on 17 attempts. And he's going to need to have to step up very quickly for them in order to win this game.
And the Spartans really spreading out their offense. Not really one player necessarily standing out on the offensive side. Ben Ball using all of his hitters, and the Brandon block, it just seems to be a little slow getting to the outside.
Yeah, when Trinity's passing is on, it makes it really tough for other teams to stop him because Ben Ball spreads his offense out so well, and they have so many options that they can use that can put the ball away consistently. So if Trinity can maintain their passing levels, then Brandon's going to have a really tough time stopping them here in this third set.
And we've seen quite a few unforced errors from the Bobcats, most notably on the service line. Do you think Russ Paddock might have just told him to relax, go have fun, enjoy this set, and to just try to calm him down? Or as a former player, when you're in this pressure situation, is there much you can do as a coach to calm the player down in this pressure serves?
I think he's probably telling them to forget about what's happened up until this point in the game. There's nothing they can do about the last 2 sets. They just need to forget about it and play like they've been playing the last 2 weeks and hopefully take this third set and push it to a 4th and hopefully a 5th for Brandon Bobcats.
The Spartans lead 2-0 over the Brandon Bobcats. And if I remember correctly, that's the first set the Spartans have won going right to left on the broadcast screen. I know it might sound a little silly at home, but quite the little mental thing that we've noticed going on.
Yeah, I was hanging out with a few of them last night after the game, and they were also joking about how they haven't won on this side. And one of the things they really want to do is get a set under the belt on this side of the court, and they did it on that second set.
Stephen Marshall, former Spartan athlete, if you're wondering why he was hanging out with the team, friends with a lot of the guys still. Delzay to Miller on the outside to start the set, and a good job from Howitson to keep it going. Now Verhoof swings off the block, and the first point of the third set goes to the Spartans.
That's beautiful play from the Spartans. That's exactly what they need to do in this set to win. A good slowdown, good pickup on defense from Howitson, and good put away from Rudy.
Mark Howitson with the serve. Delzay, Sanderson from the back. The Bobcats scramble, but will get it over. Now Ben Ball out of the back. Josh Dornenball with no block gets the kill.
There we see the weapons and the choices that Ben Ball has a set. Lucas Van Berkel causing a lot of focus on him running that 30, and it spread the offense and gave Dornball an open look on the D-ball.
2-0 lead for the Spartans. Mark Howitson back to serve. And just missing wide. First point for the Bobcats here in set number 3. Sanderson with the serve, catches the tape. Ben Ball to Van Berkel in the middle and just past the outstretched Sanderson. 3-1 the Spartans lead.
Good job by Ben Ball getting that set high enough for Lucas Van Berkel, making him reach for it and putting it over top of the blockers into the open court.
Lucas Van Berkel back to serve for the Spartans. And
that was really close.
Just long. From our vantage point, it might have caught the tape, but we have kind of a skewed vantage point looking from the baseline out. We can't really see the depth. Very close call, however, for the Spartans, but I believe the right call. Ben Ball in the middle to Dan Jensen Van Doren. A great dig from Brendan White. Ben Ball on the outside. Rudy Verhoef right through the block. 4-2 Spartans lead.
Good job by Spartans. That's great volleyball again. Just good patience. A great swing by Dan. Brandon Bobcats picking him up and getting the free ball over. And Rudy Verhoef putting it away again.
Ben Ball serves for the Spartans. Delzay in the middle to Boutwell. Rudy Verhoef over at the bench. Saves it to Dornenball, and the Spartans will play defense. Delzay in the middle to Boutwell. This time he connects. 4-3 the score. Point for the Bobcats.
Good job by Boutwell changing up his shots there. First one he hit to 5, and then next one he cut it back to 1 to the sideline.
Kevin Miller to serve for Brandon. Rudy Verhoef to Ben Ball in the middle. Dan Jansen Van Doren up over the block.
There's absolutely nothing the Bobcats can do about that. He had Dan had 2 blockers commit on him, and just a really fast ball, high set, and Dan snapping over top of the block.
Rudy Verhoef serving for the Spartans. Peichel to Delzay on the outside. Peichel will have a swing down line. Ben Ball with the dig. Now Dornenball, he'll go off the block, and the Bobcats called on the net. And Peichel comes down funny and clutching his right knee and needs a sub from Russ Paddock.
Yeah, Peichel just coming under the net on the block, and he collided knees with someone. He's having a lot of trouble right now getting off the court.
Just trying to put weight on it right now. We hope the best for Peichel. You never want to see anyone be pulled out because of injury. Delzay in the middle to Boutwell, kind of handcuffs Howitson. And the Bobcats forced to give a free ball. Ben Ball on the outside. Dornenball just tips it. A great diving play from Neufeld. Now Delzay on the outside. Miller down line. Verhoef keeps it alive. Ben Ball to Mark Howitson, tipping it over the block. An outstanding dig from Sanderson. And now swing out of the back, and it catches the tape. What a point for the Bobcats.
Yeah, good defense on both sides. Great scramble play by Brandon, and Paul Sanderson staying aggressive on that ball, getting really lucky, hitting into the tape and just trickling over.
You kind of wonder if Russ Paddock holding his breath as he saw Sanderson go to swing. But a great athletic play from Paul Sanderson, and a point for Brandon. But a serving error.
Just giving it right back to the Spartans.
Craig Lowe, who came in for Justin Peichel.
Another one of those Australian guys.
3 Australians on the Bobcat side. In the middle, Boutwell is blocked, and the Bobcats can't control the Spartans lead. 8-4 heading into the first technical timeout. And the Spartans perhaps can smell the gold medal. You got a sense that the fans have it. They're erupting with every point as they have been all night, and the Bobcats have been able to go on runs. We saw that in the second set. Perhaps Russ Paddock just saying, hey, we did it in the second set. No reason we can't do it now. Let's just go out there and play the volleyball we know we can play.
Absolutely. They went on a huge run in the second set. They're going to have to do it a bit earlier here in this third set, though, because if they let Trinity get any closer to 25 with any bit of a gap, you know they're going to hold and push to get that championship win.
An 8-4 lead. The Spartans up 2-0. Just to recap from the bronze medal, the Calgary Dinos did get the win over the Laval Rouge Aor, so the Canada West Conference will sweep the podium. The Alberta Golden Bears also getting the victory over the McMaster Marauders in the consolation final earlier this afternoon. And just long from the service line, a very close call yet again.
Those are really good serves still. Even though they're missing, they're really close, and they're making Brandon make decisions instead of hitting balls into the net.
Bent ball in the middle, Lucas Van Berkel, he tags the outside of the line.
That's an unbelievable shot by Lucas. Running a 30 ball, hitting it back against the grain to that sideline.
Josh Dornenball back to serve for the Spartans. 9-5, Trinity Western leads here in the third set. And another serve long from the Spartans.
Spartans need to do a better job of keeping the ball in play. They're doing a good job of missing out the baseline, but you want to see them put a few more in, especially with Brandon hitters struggling.
Bent ball, Rudy Verhoef out of the back, an outstanding dig from Neufeld. Bent ball with a swing, looking for a tip and doesn't get it. What a dig from Neufeld.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable dig by Neufeld, just standing in, letting that ball hit him and making a good dig.
Kyle Delzay back to serve for Brandon. Bent ball, Dornenball out of the back, a single block, and it changed directions on Delzay. 10-7, the Spartans lead.
Dornenball doing a really good job right now for the Spartans. He's been really consistent out of the D-ball, open up the other hitters.
Mark Howitson serving for the Spartans. Delzay on the outside, Kevin Miller. Howitson keeps it alive. Now Rudy Verhoef will have a swing and a big block from Brendan White.
Yeah, Brendan White, good job by him. Staying solid in the middle and putting up another good block.
A 2-point lead for the Spartans, 10-8 here in the third set. Paul Sanderson serving for Brandon. Jared Offerings controls the serve. Now Verhoef will send it on the Bobcat side, and a scramble play at the net falls for Trinity Western. Now Dornenball with a swing out of the back. Sanderson out of the back, and it touches the Spartan block, and the Bobcats will reset on the outside. Craig Lowe has a swing and some defense by the Spartans. Verhoef tips it over the block, and the Bobcats recover. Now Miller from a sharp angle, and Van Berkel can't control the block. A great rally from both sides, and the Bobcats pull within one.
Yeah, good job by Mark Howson. He had an extremely good night defensively last night, and he's just playing it again tonight.
The Spartan faithful trying to cheer on the home team here. Offerings to Verhoef, nearly hitting the basketball hoop, and just long again for the Spartans. The basketball hoops have been raised here at the event center. We haven't seen a ball make contact, and that one probably the closest all weekend. Bent ball to Rudy Verhoef, and a big block from Brendan White. And the Bobcats show some life here in the third set. A timeout called by Ben Josephson. Give full credit to Brendan White. He has come to play here in the third set. A couple of big blocks for the 6'9" left side out of Brisbane, Australia.
Yeah, he's done a really good job blocking. I think that's his 5th block so far this game. He's really bringing the Bobcats into this. He's not having that great of a night offensively, so I'm sure he'd like to get that going a bit, but from the service line, he's got 2 aces and he's got 5 blocks already.
The Bobcats played in the first semifinal yesterday. You have to think that they want to keep this going as long as possible to perhaps wear down the Spartans.
Yeah, the longer this game goes, the better chance Brandon has.
The Bobcats only having to play 1 extra set on their way to the gold medal match, and that being the quarterfinal against McMaster, where they won 3-1. Ben ball to Lucas Van Berkelen. Great dig from Sanderson. Delze Sanderson out of the back, catches the tape, changes direction on Howitson, and a 2-point lead for the Bobcats.
Sanderson's really starting to play better. He's tearing on these serves. He's making some good digs. That ball from Mark Howitson's really got to be dug on, especially on Sanderson. Anything that you can do to slow him down is extremely needed, and that's a bit of a misplay.
Paul Sanderson back to serve for Brandon. A hard serve. Jared Offerings gets it to Ben. Ball on the outside. Dornaball, he'll tip it over the block. Miller there for the Bobcats now. Low is blocked at the net on the tip shot. 12-11, the Bobcats lead.
Really lucky by the Spartans. Able to get out of that serving run from Sanderson. He's really starting to rip on it from the baseline, and it was putting a lot of pressure on the Spartans.
Lucas Van Berkel to serve for Trinity Western. Neufeld to Delze on the outside. Sanderson out of the back, through the block and down. 13-11, Bobcats lead.
Good high swing from Sanderson. Dan JVD a little bit late on his press and sneaking through his hands.
Brendan White to serve for Brandon. Then ball to Dan Jansen Van Doren, just missing. Wide, 14-11, the Bobcats lead.
A little bit of errors creeping in from the Spartans here. They're going to have to settle down and start making a few plays.
Verhoef to ball to Dornaball on the outside, just missing wide. Dornaball hit that shot most of the weekend, but just missing on the outside.
Yeah, just over-rotating his shoulders a bit and opening up his hand and spraying that ball outside. Spartans stringing together a few errors in a row. Good for Coach Ben Josephson. It's not what you like to see.
Offerings to ball, now Dornaball on the outside, cross court and down, and Ben Ball right back to Josh Dornaball for the kill.
Yeah, Ben Ball showing a lot of confidence in his hitters, going back to Josh after making that error, and a good job by Josh putting that one away.
And Micaiah Schulk will come in for Dan Jansen Van Doren on the Spartan side. Ben Ball back to serve for Trinity Western. Delze in the middle, and it's blocked. Boutwell with the attempt. Now Ben Ball on the outside, Micaiah Schulk, and he swings hard down the line. 15-14, the Bobcats still lead.
Good job.
15-13.
Good job by Micaiah Schulk coming in off the bench and giving the Spartans a spark right away.
Sanderson to Delze. Sanderson out of the back. It catches the tape. Howitson gets a touch. Verhoef and Schulk will give a free one to the Bobcats. Delze on the outside. Miller, and a big block from Rudy Verhoef.
It's a lot better play from the Spartans, extending the rally and letting their block do the work. That's a really good job by Rudy Verhoef.
And a timeout called by Russ Paddock and the Bobcats. The lead evaporating for Brandon. It's now a 1-point lead, 15-14, as the Spartans put 3 straight points together, and the crowd back into it here at the event center.
Yeah, Brandon had the crowd a bit quiet there from that big run from Sanderson. Good job by the Spartans responding and getting the crowd back into it and putting a run of their own together.
And you got to think if Brandon can hang on and win the third set, it's a whole new scenario going into set number 4.
Yeah, if you're the Spartans, you don't want to see Brandon getting any momentum and confidence pushing it into a 4 set. You want to end this as soon as you can.
The Spartans going for their second Tantramar trophy. The Bobcats, only in their second appearance here at the national tournament, already claim a bronze medal back in 2009, and they have a 16-14 lead and a much-needed side out for the Bobcats out of the timeout.
Yeah, it's a really good shot by Kevin Miller, taking a little bit off it and cutting it to the sideline. It's one of the plays, if you're the Spartans, just got to say, all right, that's a good shot and move on.
And the Spartans committing a number of errors in this set, similar to how Brandon kind of started the match. Do you expect both teams to clean it up and for it to be almost side-out volleyball the rest of the way?
Yeah, I would think so. The Spartans are going to need to pass a little bit better. The Brandon Bobcats are serving a lot tougher than they have been, and Spartans are going to keep the ball up at the net so that Ben can run his offense, and the hitters need to keep the ball in the court. They've had 6 attacking errors this set, and they just need to keep that efficiency up and keep the ball in the court and make smart shots.
And this really the first match we've seen from Ben Josephson and the Spartans where he hasn't had to go to the bench. We've seen Nick Del Bianco come in and be fantastic off the bench. We've also seen Micaiah Schultz come in on a regular basis. He is in right now for the Spartans.
Yeah, Mark Howson's played really solid tonight. He's had 11 digs already, and we're only partway through the third set.
And another serving error for the Bobcats. You hate to see it, but the momentum just being killed every time Brandon can build it because of a serving error. Rudy Verhoef to serve. Delze in the middle, kind of an awkward set for Boutwell, but it gets the job done. 17-15, the Bobcats lead.
If you're the Spartans, that's exactly what you want coming back over the net. They got the Miller Boutwell to change his shot and put a tip over, and Rudy Verhoef just needs to elevate that ball.
It will be Craig Lowe to serve for Brandon. And an overpass from the Spartans right to Sanderson. Some miscommunication on the receive. 18-15, the Bobcats lead. Craig Lowe back to serve for Brandon.
Yeah, this is what we saw in the second set when Brandon started to make a push. The passing sort of fell apart for the Spartans.
Bad ball in the middle to Dornaball, and again it seemed like the setter and the attacker with their signals crossed. Nick Del Bianco comes in for Mark Houghton.
Yeah, hopefully Nick can add a little bit of an offensive spark for the Spartans.
Offerings to ball. Now Bianco on the outside. The Bobcats block, and Schulk will get it on the Bobcat side. Boutwell with the
Terrible
setting
set.
error.
Yeah, trying to do too much with the back set and making the double contact.
And the dangerous Micaiah Schulk on the service line. He catches the tape. Bobcats control. Delze on the outside. Sanderson missing long. No touch. 19-17. The Bobcats still lead here in the third set. And this is a good sight to see. Justin Peichel will come back in.
Yeah, it's good for Brandon. He's really good defensively for them, and they're going to need him come through the back row and make some big plays.
Looks like Peichel has a tape job on that right knee. He came down awkwardly after an attack attempt. And another big swing from Schulk, but the Bobcats do well. And Miller off the block, the Spartans control. And Dornaball will send it on the Bobcat side. Delze on the outside. Sanderson gets the tip, and they're going to call the Spartans on the net anyway.
Good transition run by Delze, really fast set outside, and Sanderson putting it away.
Dan Boutwell back to serve for Brandon. Band ball, Rudy Verhoef out of the back. Delze hustles over for Miller. And now Offerings will put it high. Band ball over. And Del Bianco will give a free ball to the Bobcats. Delze on the outside. Sanderson and a big block from Lucas Van Berkel.
Really good job by Lucas getting over. Sanderson thought he had that just one blocker up, swinging hard on the cross court, and Lucas taken away late in the seam.
Dornaball with the serve for the Spartans. Delze on the outside to Sanderson, off the block, and I think back off Sanderson.
Ben Ball doing a really good job not letting Sanderson get outside of him and wipe him down the line, closing up and pushing that ball back in off Sanderson's head.
And we're going to see a substitution for the Bobcats. Jonathan Sloan will come in for Brendan White.
A little bit of a more offensive threat with Sloan coming in.
Josh Dornenball back to serve for the Spartans. They trail by 1. Pico with an excellent pass to Delze. Sanderson off hands. And Verhoef kind of cut off Jared Offerings. And the Bobcats, a very important point, restore a 2-point lead, 21-19 here in the third set.
Yeah, really good touch by Rudy, but just kind of got in the way of Jared Offerings a bit.
Del Bianco to ball. Now Verhoef out of the back will tip it. Sloan with the hang time, able to put it on the Spartan side. Dornaball out of the back. Delze with the dig. And Pico will send it on the Spartan side. Ben ball on the outside. Del Bianco rides the tape. A huge point for the Brandon Bobcats. 22-19 Bobcat lead.
That's too bad. That's a really big point if Spartans would have got it. Nicholas Del Bianco getting a little bit greedy, trying to crush that ball into the middle of the court. He needs to flatten that out to the sideline or the baseline.
And a serving error from Kyle Delze. The 5th year out of Saskatoon with the serving error, and a timely one. Nick Del Bianco, we've seen him with the spin serve. A lot of side-to-side movement with his spin serve. Delze in the middle to Sloan, and a big swing from Jonathan Sloan, just overpowering the Spartan block.
Yeah, that's a really good swing. Wiping that ball to the sideline. Good effort by Nick trying to chase that one down. He's got some good touches, but hasn't been able to get one up quite yet.
Mark Houghton comes back in for Nick Del Bianco. 23-20, the Bobcats lead here in the third set. Ben ball to Rudy Verhoef out of the back. Sanderson, Delze on the outside. Pico swings, just missing cross court. A very close call. A good swing from Pico. Just unfortunate, didn't dip fast enough.
Yeah, that's really fortunate for the Spartans getting out of that rotation with Sanderson back to the line. Last time he went back, he had 4 or 5 points in a row.
Lucas Van Berkel to serve for Trinity Western. New foul to Delze on the outside. Miller, the Spartans slow it down. Ben ball to Rudy Verhoef. He'll try to tip it to the back. Delze there for Brandon. And the Bobcats will play defense. Ben ball on the outside. Rudy Verhoef. Brandon gets a touch. Sanderson to Miller on the outside. The Spartan block there. Dan Jansen Van Dorn. A 1-point gain here in the third set. 23-22. Brandon Bobcats still lead. 2
really good blocks by Dan JVD. First slow down on Miller, chasing late into the seam, and then another one chasing late seam. Nice soft block coming down in the deep corner.
Russ Paddock calls a timeout for the Brandon Bobcats. The Spartans have momentum late in the third set. The Bobcats still have a lead, and if they can side out this ball, they'll have the Spartans right where they want them.
Yeah, if they can get one side out here, they have set point. It has Spartans back against the wall, and for the Spartans, you have Lucas Van Berkel back on the line, who last 2 nights in the 5th set started them off with a 5-point run. So if they can get some tough serves in from him, they can definitely go on a run here.
A very flat serve from Van Berkel, a lot of side-to-side movement.
Yeah, he contacts it at a really high point, and there's not a lot of arc to it. It's really flat driven serve, and they're really tough balls to pass.
Van Berkel with the serve and Pico with the receiving error.
And there we see the serve from Lucas Van Berkel causing tons of problems.
And we'll see Brendan White come in for Jonathan Sloan.
If you're the Spartans, you have to know where this ball is going. It's either going to Miller on the left side or Sanderson on the D-ball.
Pico does better. And Boutwell to Miller on the outside. The block there for the Spartans. Delzay sets Sanderson out of the back, right at Howitson. Dornaball with the diving attempt. It goes into the crowd and unfortunately can't come up with it. A huge point for the Bobcats. They'll now serve for the set.
Yeah, that's a really good job by Brandon, fighting for that point, getting the set point here. Spartans showing a lot of effort on defense. Good job by Josh Dornball chasing down and not giving up.
And Justin Pikel just committed the receiving error. Van Berkel goes right back at him, and you can see change direction at the last second. Pikel made the adjustment and took it more with the body than the arms. And the Bobcat defense able to get a second chance, and they connect on the offensive side.
Yeah, Lucas's serve is so tough because it has the ability to drop at any given time, and it's really tough for a passer to know whether you have to step up and set it or take a step back and pass it with the forearms, and Justin Pico got caught in between both on those ones.
Brendan White with probably one of the bigger serves he's ever had in his career. Only in his first year of CIS eligibility. It'll for sure test the nerves. 24-23, the Bobcats lead. Ben ball on the outside. Rudy Verhoef gets the point for the Spartans right through the block.
That's a great answer by Rudy Verhoef. A little bit of a sketchy pass, and Ben Ball making a nice set out to him and just going over top of Kevin Miller. Great shot.
Ben Ball back to serve for the Spartans. Delte on the outside. Miller off the Spartan block. They reset. Now Verhoef will just roll it in the block there for Kevin Miller. Verhoef not happy with himself, wanted to get it over the block.
Yeah, another error from Rudy Verhoef coming on a roll shot short. He needs to make sure, if he's going to roll it in, he has to make sure it's going to a deep spot in the court instead of short, or he's just got to be aggressive and swing high off hands on that one.
Neither team with a timeout left. The Bobcats making a substitution to get a big block up there. They put in Sean Funk, the 6'9" middle out of Winkler, Manitoba. And an error from Kevin Miller, the 5th year out of Russell, Manitoba. 25-25.
It's a really tough play by Kevin Miller. He's got to keep that ball in the court. And good job by the Spartans not panicking and playing something they didn't have to.
Michael Sanderson, and a setting error from Sanderson, and some mental lapses from the Bobcats here at the end, and the Spartans will serve for the gold medal.
You can see the whole crowd's on their feet right now. Everyone really excited.
This place ready to explode. Pikel, Delze, out of the back, Sanderson into the net, and the Spartans win! The Spartans win! The Spartans win the gold as the Spartan faithful rush the floor. It is mayhem down here at the Langley Event Center. The Spartans, the second team to win as the host since 1989 Alberta, the only other team. And the Trinity Western University Spartans, the host team for the 2011 National Championship, win the gold medal here at the Langley Event Center. A tough loss for the Brandon Bobcats. They had the lead coming down in the third set. The Spartans battle back, and as you can see, some of the Spartan players getting picked up by the faithful supporters. Quite the scene here at the Langley Event Center, and Stephen Marshall, some final thoughts on this.
That's just an unbelievable job by the Spartans. They were down in that set and did a great job of fighting back and taking the win.
And for the Brandon Bobcats, they didn't get the gold, but still a great showing here at the national tournament. In only their second appearance, they get silver. They've medaled both times they've been to the national tournament. The Spartans continuing their streak. Every time they've been to the national tournament, they have medaled. This, their second gold, and their first as a host, their last gold medal coming in 2008. What a sight to see. You couldn't write the story any better for the Spartans. They made it to the gold medal last year. They lost to the Calgary Dinos. They got over that hump in the semifinal, beating the Dinos, and then they're able to get the win over the Brandon Bobcats here tonight. I guess if we could get a player of the game from the Brandon Bobcats from you, Steven.
Tonight it's going to be Brennan White from Brandon Bobcats in the middle. He did a really good job getting them back into the game. When they needed energy, he was there getting blocks and getting aces. And he was one of the few players that played really well tonight. It's kind of too bad to see fifth years Kevin Miller and Sanderson going out like that. They both had amazing careers for the Bobcats.
And for the Trinity Western University Spartans, I know there's a couple players you could pick from. The seniors played great here tonight, but is there one player that particularly stood out to you?
I think the two key players tonight for the Spartans were Josh Dornball. He did an outstanding job bringing the team, getting kills, and Mark Houghton also defensively.
And we have Mark Jansen down with Coach Ben Josephson. Down to you, Mark.
You gonna signal me? Well, here we are, Ben Josephson winning at home. What can you say?
Just turn that camera around, you can see exactly what to say. Unbelievable crowd. They carried us through. We had a top five setter, and we were fired up tonight, and I thought the guys just let it out there. That was a fantastic performance. You know, you saw why Brandon's in the final. They didn't go away, they didn't let down, they were tough the whole way through. Thought our guys made just enough plays to end that match.
How big was that crowd? I mean, you guys were going right from the start.
Yeah, I mean, a national championship, these guys waited a whole year to get back to and have another shot at getting this done. And they trained hard, they went through everything possible. We did red-eye flights and played the next day, traveled the rush, all that stuff ready for this match. March 6th, they played it, they were amped, the crowd gave us what we needed. That was a great way to end the season.
In terms of tactics, how did you stop Brandon so well? It seemed like you could shut down a guy like Paul Sanderson incredibly, especially in those first two sets.
No tactics. We just served the ball tough and be big. You know, we did a lot of, we watched Chariots of Fire a bit this week, and Eric Little, you know, said it, he was created to run fast, and he feels God's glory when he runs. Our guys are created big and athletic, and they feel God's glory when they can express that, and that's what we saw today. They were free, and they were in their element, sharing the gifts they have.
Thank you very much, Ben. Congratulations. We're going to go grab a couple other players. We'll be back. Send it up to you guys up top right now.
Thank you, Mark Jansen. Ben Josephson, the winning coach from the Trinity Western Spartans, and the Spartans now salute the Spartan faithful, and you have to think they played just as big of a role as any player on the floor for the Spartans.
Yeah, the crowd played a huge role tonight for the Spartans. You couldn't ask for much more from the Spartan faithful. They're here in full force this weekend, and you have to attribute a lot of the success to them. They did an outstanding job cheering on the team this weekend.
For Josh Dornenball and Micaiah Scholkel, we'll get back to that. We'll turn it over to the PA announcer, Jared Hansen, as I think we'll have the medal presentations.
and gentlemen, put together a big round of applause for the tournament all-star selection. And now, for the tournament MVP, please join me in congratulating the most valuable player of the tournament from Trinity Western University, Ruby. Your 2011 RWQ Fair Play Award goes
The people at LGBT Fair Play.
Congratulations, Showdog, and thank you for entering great sportsmanship and fair play. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dick White, our CIS delegate, and Mayor Rick Green of the Township Planning will present the Tantramar Trophy and CIS Championship banner to the team captains. Ladies and gentlemen, your CIS 2011 volleyball champions. Congratulations once again to all teams, and thank you for joining us here in Langley, British Columbia. And that concludes the 2011 CIS Volleyball Championships.
And what a scene there during the awards ceremony. We hope you could still pick up Jared Hansen, the PA announcer, the Spartans faithful in attendance, making a lot of noise. We have a Mark Jansen down there. I think he's going to try to get a few players from the Trinity Western University Spartans, but obviously a very happy squad. Nice to see Josh Dornenball and Micaiah Schalk along with the team captain Rudy Verhoof out there to get the trophy and the championship banner.
Yeah, it's a really nice scene to see both two fifth-year guys. It's a perfect way to end off your career.
And awards all around, an outstanding tournament. A lot of teams came in here hungry. Unfortunately, only one team will get the victory. An outstanding 3 days of volleyball. You were here for all the matches. Any overall thoughts on this tournament?
The level of play overall was outstanding this weekend. Really good showcase of the level of volleyball in Canada, and it was really good to see throughout the weekend.
And you can see the Spartans down there. Media's best friend right now, posing for all the pictures. Everyone trying to get a shot with them and the Tantramar Trophy. Again, the Spartans only the second team to win as the host. The Alberta Golden Bears have done it twice since 1989. Now the Spartans do it here at the Langley Event Center. A sold-out crowd on hand for every Spartan matchup. And we'll just have to pause a little bit as we wait for the pictures to be done. I'm sure it won't take much to get the players to smile at this point.
No, not at all. They're all pretty excited right now.
And perhaps we might see some haircuts for the Spartans now. I know Ben Ball and Mark Howitson have been growing it out for quite some time. I noticed Jared Offerings with a little bit of a rat tail hanging off to the side. You remember the team last year. Was that kind of something they had going from last year's tournament?
Yeah, that was actually one of the things that I started last year, and then most of the guys followed through with it, and actually some of them are liking the hair, so I feel like it might stick around for a bit longer.
The Spartans get the win. I think Mark Jansen is finally making his way into the crowd as they try to get some players. We're hoping that everything is A-okay with the camera down there as it's getting some attention. And now Ben Josephson gets a shower. A little water shower for Ben Josephson as he has a laugh with the players. I'm sure he won't mind the cold after the heat of this tournament.
I think he'll be okay with that one.
And finally, Ben Josephson getting a picture with the trophy alone. A lot of the Trinity family out here, a number of players from out of province, quite a few from Alberta. As we continue to wait for Mark Jansen down there, I'm pretty sure he wants to get some of the seniors, and it's just a matter of getting them out of the party, and I think he does have Micaiah Schulk, so just in a few minutes we'll send it down to our sideline reporter Mark Jansen. And our camera has been disconnected. I think I'm overhearing, so we'll do our best to get that going. So in the mayhem, the sideline camera took a little bit of a beating up here in the broadcast booth. We lost a monitor just before the start of the gold medal. Luckily, we had a spare. And they're doing some quick technical work down there on the camera. A great crew, all of our production staff at the Langley Event Center doing an excellent job for us here this weekend. And I think we are ready down there with Mark Jansen.
Guys, we're here with Micaiah Schulk, 5th year last year with Trinity Western. Win it at home. Just talk about what that's like.
It's amazing. This is my last game as Spartan and couldn't be any better. We played unbelievable the whole game and really just couldn't have played any better. Our whole team just played as a unified team the whole way, and it was just amazing.
How much did that crowd help you? Just wild, eh?
Oh, unbelievable. We wouldn't even be in the finals if that was the case, because the last 2 games against Calgary and Alberta, the hardest games ever. And fifth sets are all about emotion, and we won it on our crowd pretty much, so it's huge.
What did you guys do to shut them down? I mean, you guys were just dominant right from the start.
Just our systems. We served hard, pulled them off the net, and then they had a hard time against our big block. And they started hitting balls out of bounds, got scared of our block, and we just took it from them.
Congratulations, have a good night.
Thanks.
Micaiah Schulk, we'll get Rudy Verhoof just to hear in a second. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Mark Jansen. Micaiah Schulk, a graduating player playing his last game as a Spartan. I am sure he couldn't ask for a better finish to his career, especially in that semifinal game. Really helped the Spartans in the 5th set, just unloading from the service line.
Yeah, he played some of his best volleyball this weekend, which is really good to see. Graduating guy. He hit some of the hardest serves I've seen him hit here in his career, and they came at the best times. He helped his team out really well this weekend.
And Micaiah Schulk, part of a great volleyball family here at Trinity Western. Both his brother Jabin and Kame were Spartans, and Micaiah Schulk comes through and became a setter, Javen more of a defensive, and pretty soon they're going to have a whole side out there.
Yeah, there's also Seth Schulk, who is also a left side for them too. They're just a great volleyball family, and I'm sure they're all very proud right now.
So as Mark Jansen wiggles through the crowd down there, we'll wait, as I think he's going to go for Rudy Verhoof next. And I can't even see him out there. And I think he finally found one of them. Perhaps he's got Josh Dornenball. At least the volleyball players are easy to pick out in this crowd.
Yeah, they're all head and shoulders above everyone else.
And I think Mark Jansen is trying to get Dornenball over, receiving a lot of hugs from friends and family who are in attendance all the way from Edmonton, Alberta. Josh Dornenball also playing in his last match as a Spartan. And an excellent tournament for him. He could have been up there with tournament MVP along with Rudy Verhoof.
Absolutely. Just a great weekend overall for everyone.
And we have Mark Jansen down with Josh Dornenball.
Thanks, guys. We're actually here with Josh Dornenball here. Your final year, final game of the Spartan. Just talk about what it's like.
Oh, that was awesome. I can't think of a better way to go out than that. At home in front of these awesome fans, just carrying us through that game and finishing out, completing my set of medals.
Going into this game, you guys just seem so confident. Coming out, was there any question you guys were going to win this once you stepped out on the floor with that crowd going?
There was no way that we were going to let what happened last year happen again. We were going to go out and give it everything we had. If they happened to be better than us on tonight, then that would have happened. But we gave everything we had and we played our best game. So.
Excellent. Congratulations, Josh Dornenball. 5th year, last game as a Spartan, and he wins CIS gold medal. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mark. Josh Dornenball again in the 5th year. Was with the team when they went their best result previous to this back in 2006. Also CIS gold medal champions. And I think Mark Jansen making his way through the crowd, going to try to find Rudy Verhoof. And I think Verhoof with some family and friends as well. And I think Mark kind of fighting over the other reporters here. Some newspapers in attendance, Canada West in attendance. Of course, all the CIS writers here as well. And Rudy Verhoof, part of the Verhoof family here at Trinity Western, a number of athletes. Lance Verhoof for the basketball team, also a graduating senior. Just the Verhoof kind of family system is send their children to Trinity, and they're going to be great athletes.
Yeah, their sister, Lise Verhoof, was a volleyball player too, and she holds a number of records for the volleyball team.
And I think Mark Jansen does have Rudy, just trying to get him over to the camera. But Rudy Verhoof just taking a picture with everyone, and he should be enjoying the moment. Worked hard, suffered heartbreak last year, and finally getting the glory this year.
Yeah, he's a hot commodity right now. Tournament MVP, everyone's wanting to talk to him at this point.
And I think Mark Jansen does have Rudy Verhoof, so we'll send it down to Mark.
Down here with tournament MVP Rudy Verhoof. What can you say? A game you guys win at home in front of the craziest crowd you can imagine, eh?
It's a dream come true. We couldn't have done it without the fans. We were tired and sore and ready to kind of not give up, but they spurred us on, and we couldn't have done it without them. It was unbelievable.
What was the mindset going into the game? The way you guys came out, it just looked like you guys were so confident.
Yeah, we had the experience from last year coming second a year ago today, and we knew we wanted to play with freedom and just go out there and enjoy the match.
What did you guys do well specifically to shut down Brandon so well, especially with your block?
Well, we went back to the old school Spartans, serve tough and block big. That's our style. That's our style of game this year, and it worked out.
Excellent. Congratulations. Tournament MVP, Rudy Verhoef. That's it for us down here. Spartans are champions of the CIS. Back to you guys up top.
Thank you, Mark Jansen. You just said it right there. The Spartans, the host team, gets the victory over the Brandon Bobcats in straight sets. 25-12, 25-22, 27-25. The Trinity Western University Spartans, the 2011 men's volleyball CIS national champions. A great tournament this weekend. The quarterfinals, the semifinals, even the consolation round was great volleyball, and couldn't think of a better way to cap it off. You couldn't write a better story. The Spartans battling hard in the quarterfinal, then the semifinal, and getting the victory over the Brandon Bobcats to get their second CIS championship. Full marks to the Brandon Bobcats in only their second appearance. They got silver. Their first appearance, they got bronze. 2 medals in 2 appearances for the Bobcats. However, it was the Spartans' night tonight. An excellent tournament. We'd like to thank all of the production staff here at the Langley Event Center working with SSN Canada. I'd personally like to thank Stephen Marshall, my color analyst. Zach Rogers signing off. Thank you for watching the Men's Volleyball Championship here on SSN Canada.